Hello, my name is Gretchen Emmets, and I'm a candidate for a 5-year term on the Kingston Housing Authority. First of all, I would like to thank PAC TV for allowing me the time to introducing myself and explain why I'm running for this position. I have lived in and been a registered voter in Precinct 1 for close to 16 years, but this is the first time I have entered in a town-wide race. Until recently, I've been a retail manager for the past 20 years, but I left that job last summer to be closer to my home and spend more time with my family. Looking for something more rewarding to do, I was lucky enough to have been given the opportunity to work at the Council on Aging in Kingston. While there, I started to notice through phone calls and personal visits that the need is growing rapidly for housing for low-income seniors, veterans, people with disabilities, and even families. Yet unfortunately, the housing situation in Kingston is not. So I started to ask questions on how better I can help with this issue and decided that why ask, just do, and I made up my mind to enter this race. What is the Housing Authority, you may ask? Kingston Housing Authority is state-subsidized housing on which 48 units are located on Hillcrest Road and 1 on 237 Pembroke Street, which has 8 residents with special needs. The Department of Housing and Community Development provides funding for much of the program. However, Kingston Housing Authority is elected by our townspeople to oversee the director and make sure the residents' needs and the town's needs and future needs are being met. A couple of years ago, the Kingston Housing Authority entered into a management contractual agreement with the Plymouth Housing Authority, which is quite standard with small towns. Although the Housing Authority is good at what they do day to day, Kingston's not a big city, and all of the members of the Kingston Housing Authority need to take charge and be leaders, which means, in fact, they need to be proactive and advocate for the needs of our seniors, veterans, and other struggling residents, and make sure that the director is doing the same at all times. This very same board should be setting goals for the director, everyday goals that they maintain and provide safe, sanitary, affordable housing to those who occupy our 48+ units. Goals which include utilizing CPC funds for asset preservation, enhancements, and permitting for increasing our housing stock. As a town, you should expect your board not only to be providing safe, sanitary, affordable housing, but also investigating grants and honestly trying to find creative ways to grow more housing. This just does not seem to be happening. The Housing Authority website states that the mission is to provide safe, decent, and sanitary housing conditions for low-income families. We need to provide for families, period. That has not been done at all. If elected, I also want to bring to the forefront the goals of the Massachusetts Affordable Chapter 40B law, where at least 10% of its new developments in each town being built will be made affordable for the average income. Currently, sadly, we are less than 4%. The truth is, we build in Kingston more for the market rate than for the affordable housing. Recently, my neighbors who were growing their family needed to buy a larger house and found they could not afford to buy one in Kingston and end up purchasing a home in a neighboring town. Do I want this for my daughter? Do you want this for your children, your grandchildren? Standing still is no longer an option. I realize that this is the first time in 15 years that the Housing Authority has been a contested race. I've been told this by many people. And I want to make it clear that I am entering this race not against anyone, but for someone, the people of the town of Kingston and the future growth of the town of Kingston and the residents, current and future. It is time for a change and time for the residents of Kingston to take notice that there is indeed a Kingston Housing Authority. And there are indeed people who need affordable housing. Let's do our part. Please consider me, Gretchen Emmets, as you cast your vote for Housing Authority on April 30th. Commitment, growth, fresh ideas, and a willingness to learn and lead. Thank you.